Hello and welcome back to my playthrough of Pokemon Pyrite. In the last episode, we finally made our way through Victory Road, and now we are here ready to face off against our rival. But quickly before we do that, you can see that everyone is has been grinded up to level 75. And also, we're just going to check the movesets, because these have changed slightly. As you can see, Vaporeon now has Rest, other than Acid Armor. We have our Typhlosion here, which hasn't changed. We've got our Ursaring, who now knows Earthquake and Dynamic Punch, just as more moves. We have Ariados here, and finally we have our Donphan, which now knows Toxic. And I'm also planning on putting a Solar Beam on our Togetic to give it a special type move. A special move that should hopefully actually really, maybe, it might be able to put in some work. But anyway, so we're going to fight off against our rival Lucas here, and we start off with the Ursaring. And as you can see, we are a bunch of levels higher than this, which is actually really good. We can take out the Ursaring with relative ease. And it doesn't look like Thunder Punch is actually going to, well, I would have said it shouldn't have done that, but oh well. It didn't look like it was going to take me out, but unfortunately it did. Anyway, he's now going to send out the Machamp, so we can assume either Earthquake or Rock Slide is coming our way, otherwise you wouldn't have really sent this thing in. We're going to go into Donphan. Donphan is our hard switch. We can now Earthquake, and that is a 2-hit KO. Beautiful. Unfortunately, he gets the crit on the cross chop, but you sort of expect that. Feraligatr comes in. Hydro Pump is obviously going to take us out, but we can go into Ariados here, and we can start Giga Draining. And as long as he doesn't crit us, that is actually... Look at that. Look at our Ariados just completely destroyed his Feraligatr. That's amazing. And then next is the Gengar. We're just going to... we can Psychic here, and actually Psychic is going to... Ooh, he hypnotizes us, which is... nothing we can do about that, but there's no point in us sort of wasting another turn. We can go into our Typhlosion here, Flamethrower will take out the Gengar. Its final Pokemon is a Charizard, so we can Thunder Punch this Charizard, and that should be... is a 2-hit KO. Even though we got the crit on the Earthquake, we can take him out, and we defeat our rival. And now all we have to do is defeat the Elite Four, and that is going to be harder said than done. I have a feeling, because obviously that battle there, even though his Pokemon were much lower level, just the fact that we have to continually swap is really, really problematic, it must be said. It's like every battle must be treated as almost like an online battle. Anyway, so I'm going to buy 15 more revives, because honestly, we're going to need them. And I'm going to buy a bunch more full heals. The only reason I need, obviously I don't need to overload on revives, because the fact is obviously, with the way this game is structured, there is actually a limited number of deaths I can have. Because obviously I can't revive Pokemon in the middle of battle. So, Togetic, you're getting rid of Headbutt, and you're going to get Solar Beam, and... what do we want to get? You need to be given something. Probably the Scope Lens is best to Togetic. And also, that's also good on Typhlosion. Okay, so obviously, interesting. Our first Elite Four member here is Koga. So not Will. Normally we'd obviously see Will here, so we've got Koga instead. That's actually good that we put the Scope Lens on Typhlosion, because obviously we're really not going to be able to do much with fighting type moves against poison types. Anything else I can really use? Nothing really. I think we've just got to go for it. So we're going to lead off with Donphan, because obviously Donphan has a huge advantage here against poison types, but not against psychic types like this Hypno. And he's going to land a Hypnosis. Of course he does. So do we assume he's got Dream Eater? I think we sort of have to. So if we assume he's got Dream Eater, then I guess we go into... well, Ursaring's going to be slower. I guess we go into Vaporeon, and we hope he doesn't Hypnosis us. He shouldn't be faster. He's slower, but unfortunately he does have the chance. And he misses 2 Hypnosis in a row. That's really, really good news. That's wonderful news. No one wants to see Hypnosis come through. We're going to go back into Donphan here. The reason is I feel like... Minimize could be an issue. I just feel like... What can this Muck do to me? Muck's a physical attacker, really. Although if it Acid Armors, that's going to be an issue. Well... we need to land, like, 3. Or we can just crit, and there we go. Straight through. Sweet. So, Shuckle. Because we're burnt, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go into Vaporeon here and Surf, because obviously Surf is going to be super effective. There goes the Shuckle. His next Pokemon is a Crobat, so we just Ice Beam here. He's going to Confuse Ray us. If I can please cut through. Please, 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 please. Oh, he's going to Toxic me. Can I please land an Ice Beam? Yes, okay, good, good, good. Okay, that makes me so much more optimistic for this now. Okay, he's going to fly. We're no longer confused, which is great news. We should essentially... This Ice Beam should land, and Crobat should be down. Good, good, good. Okay, so next up is the Nidoking, which we can surf. EQ is going to come through, and he gets a crit. Of course he gets a crit. We're going to Donphan here, obviously. Nidoking gets a lot of sort of coverage moves, so he's got Ice Beam. Okay. He doesn't crit me, thankfully, and Earthquake's going to come through. It's not going to be It's not going to be a one-hit KO, mainly because of the burn, which kind of sucks. But now we can go into Ariados and we can Psychic, and that should take out the Nidoking. There we go. We even get a crit just to make sure. We're just going to Sludge Bomb. I reckon Fire Blast is definitely going to take us out. Interesting. I hadn't realised that we were actually down. Because obviously Vaporeon's gone and Donphan's gone, which are our main two. But we can go into Ursaring here, actually, and we can just Earthquake. Fire Blast is going to land, and we doesn't get a burn, which is great. Earthquake comes through, takes out the Ninetales, and we defeat Koga. Okay, good start, good start. You can tell there's so much sort of, you got to think, is this Pokemon worth keeping? Is it worth reviving? Is all of this is very, very stressful. Anyway. We will heal everyone up to max, because there's really no point not. I also need to check PP. This is something that I always fail to do in other playthroughs, and I'm determined to make this right. So Earthquake, we have 6. We have everything anti-explosion. You didn't even fight in that battle. We have 9 Psychics. We have 7 Ice Beams. I feel like we're okay. Okay, we're going to be okay. So now, well, who's next? Obviously, it could be any one of Karen, Will, or Bruno, and that is Bruno, I believe. Yes, Bruno. Cool. I'm glad that actually tells you who's who. Imagine if it didn't, and you were like, okay, I'm going to plan definitely for Will, and then randomly Koga came up. So, Togetic's going to lead as our flying type against Bruno's fighting types. I'm looking forward to this. This should be an interesting one. Heracross. Oh, that's an amazing start for us. Megahorn does come in, but obviously we are... wow, we even get crit. Wow, Fly is quadruply effective. Don't know whether the crit might have mattered there, I guess. But anyway, we're going to go to Vaporeon here. Rock Slide's going to come in and do a bunch to us, but we can take out the Rhydon. And he's 2 Pokemon down already. Next up is the Poliwrath. Okay. So I'm going to Surf. I want to see what this guy wants to do. He's going to Hypnosis me, which isn't great. So obviously we have potentially 5 turns of sleep. I'm going to just stay in. I'm going to see what he wants to do. 225 to 167. So that is 50 odd. We can live 3 more. So we would be unlucky if we die here. Okay, that definitely did more, that one. I think I've got to hope that I just get off a rest, really. I mean, I can't, yeah, I mean, there we go, sweet, oh, that's amazing. Oh, okay, that was really lucky. So, the fact that we rest means that we definitely wake up after 3 turns, which is really good. So that means we can just know that we're going to wake up this turn, and to be fair, we Surf, he's going to Earthquake. I'm going to rest, predicting his Hypnosis. So he wanted to put me to sleep before, and he still wants me to put me to sleep, which is really good. So he's going to Earthquake, Earthquake, and then we Surf. He's going to Earthquake. Now I rest, and hopefully we can just get into this sort of process. Yeah, this is really good. I'm really quite enjoying the fact that we can use... So we're essentially using Vaporeon's Rest as almost like a sleep sponge, which is really nice. Okay, Kangaskhan. We're just going to Surf here. We get Parad. That's... Well, you sort of expect that in many ways. Does he have the berry? He does have a berry to wake himself up, which is actually a strategy I can use because I do have some mint berries, and it's actually something I should really have thought about doing. Well, obviously that wouldn't have helped just then. Cross Chop comes in and is going to be not a crit, just a heavy hit. But what we're going to now do is we're going to go into Ariados. He may well have the Rock Slide, but we are just going to Psychic. He's going to Fire Blast, but his special isn't that great. And he misses the Fire Blast. That's always the risk with Fire Blast. We land a Psychic, and Ariados is putting in the work. We're just going to Giga Drain here. I think it's super effective. It's not super effective. Steel does resist Grass. That's good to know. But we can go into Typhlosion here. Flamethrower is going to definitely take out this Steelix in one hit. Typhlosion goes to level 76, and we defeat Bruno. So, really good run, actually, that one. That's not as bad as... I mean, again, Hypnosis is just an issue, but... you know, you just gotta cope with it. Cope with Hypnosis. Okay, so next up it is Will. So Will, the Psychic type trainer. I am going to swap. I'm going to do what he did and put a Mint Berry. So Bruno did, and put a Mint Berry on my Vaporeon. Just because I don't think water's going to be so important here, and anything else. I mean, obviously I could put the black glasses on, but I don't think that's actually going to really help either. Yeah, we just gotta hope for get some crits, hope for the best. Could be Togetic, but then again, actually, most Psychic types are really frail on the physical side, so I might need Ursaring. What stats do you have? 233 and 162. You are 229 and 134, so definitely better to be Ursaring. Yeah, so if we switch Ursaring to the front, hopefully he can take whatever moves this guy. And just because, you know, if like he leads Alakazam, for example, maybe we can eat a Psychic and then just land a, not super effective, but it's obviously a physical attack on this. So he leads Espeon, which is much the same as Alakazam actually. It's a very similar Pokemon, just sort of slightly worse. Slightly slower and slightly less powerful. Strength comes in and is going to do well over half. Psychic shouldn't be a 2-hit KO, does not take me out. Okay, in comes Starmie. Starmie. I'm going to Strength just in case he wants to do anything interesting. I think now we're going to Vaporeon and we start biting. He does a Thunderbolt, that's an issue. Don't crit me. Okay, oh, Bite is a 2-hit KO. That's amazing news. Okay, so sweet, that's brilliant. Okay, we just go straight into Typhlosion for Executor, I'm pretty sure. Yes, Giga Drain, that's good to see. And then we Flamethrower. Down goes the Executor. Amazing. And I'm just going to bring out the Slowbro. So, So I could Thunder Punch here and get off some damage. I could go into Ariados and risk a Psychic type attack. I could go into Togetic and try and set up a Solar Beam. I could go into Vaporeon. But I think it's important to work out what this guy wants to do. So I'm going to go into Togetic first. He's going to Thunder Wave. Interesting. I'm just going to Shadow Ball. He's going to Surf me. That does imply that he doesn't necessarily have a, say, a Psychic type move. Oh, sorry, not a Psychic type move. Just a move that's going to do more damage than Surf to me. So what I can do here is I can actually rest. I'll be able to get all the way back up to health. He's going to Psychic me. But I'm going to wake up straight away, and now I can start biting. Ah, you... Ah, that crit was really annoying, because obviously it means Vaporeon is essentially... Unless I get off a rest? I do get off a rest! Wow! I didn't realise I would outspeed. Okay, Double Edge comes through and does about 100. So we're going to be on very low health, essentially, is going to be the situation. So I'm going to waste some Ice Beams here, essentially. And now we're going to wake up this turn and we're going to outspeed. So I'm going to Surf. Just get off some damage. That's really nice damage. Now I can go into Typhlosion pretty freely and we can just Flamethrower. That should take out the Porygon 2. Down goes Porygon 2. Next he brings out Alakazam and we're just going to Flamethrower, honestly. He reflects, that's amazing, and we get a burn, but he's got the Miracle Berry. So, that's the berry I really want, but I don't think there are any Miracle Berries found in, like, the wild. Or found in Johto, you know, just lying around in the bushes. Anyway, we get a crit there, obviously, we do have Scope Lens boosted, crit ratios, so that isn't too unfortunate. Well, sort of like, I think we deserve it in a way. So now, We need to heal. We definitely need to heal. Typhlosion gets healed up. We can revive up Ursaring, Togetic, and Vaporeon. And then Hyper Potion de-stress up. Or Max Potion in this case. So there we go. Sweet. And now we've got Karen. So Karen normally leads Umbreon. Like, she's a Dark-type trainer. She loves her Umbreon. I'm tempted to again lead Ursaring and just go for, just hit some strengths. Or we could lead Donphan, which has Earthquake, which is actually more... I just realised Earthquake's more powerful than... So if we lead Donphan, we could really do some damage. If she's got Umbreon. If we assume she has Umbreon. Or we could lead Ariados and Screech the Umbreon and then Sludge Bomb it. That's the other thing we could do. I'm going to lead Ariados here, I think. I'm going to lead Ariados. The other thing I need to do is very quickly put... check PP. Very, very important. PP. Okay, so we have... We're fine on you. We are 8 flamethrowers, so we'll probably have to change that after this battle. 6 earthquakes. We have no surfs, so that's the important one. No surfs. So we obviously have a max ether for Vaporeon. Actually, no. I'll use the elixir on Vaporeon. And then I'm pretty comfortable with everything else. So, let's go. Karen. So, Dark types. And she's going to lead off Umbreon, so we predicted that really nicely. So, we're going to Screech. He's going to double team, but we land the Screech, which is amazing. So, let's see what a +2, essentially a +2 Sludge Bomb does. That is great damage. That is amazing damage. And we land another Sludge Bomb. Obviously, we're always at risk of missing something, which sort of sucks. But there we go. Sweet. So... the great news there was obviously the poisoning. Poisoning really helped. He goes into Gengar. We can assume it's got Fire Punch from what we've seen from other Gengars. I'm just going to Psychic in the case that we live. But he actually has the Psychic itself instead. So Gengar, we can go into Donphan and we can actually Earthquake. And he does have the Ice Punch and he doesn't get the Freeze, which is amazing. So he's going to go into the Vileplume now. I don't really want this thing getting all its health back from me. But then again, it might want a Sleep Powder. So I'm going to Earthquake, just see how much damage it does. That is a good amount of damage. Giga Drain is going to take me out. But that's okay. Like I said, I didn't want it to, I didn't want to swap into Typhlosion and it sort of Stun Spore or do something like that. She's going to bring out T-Tar next, and I'm definitely going straight into Vaporeon. Rock Slide is going to hurt if it had landed, but Surf should take out the T-Tar. Amazing, we even get a crit there. I don't think crit mattered. Next up is Jinx. I might go into Togetic as Death Fodder and then go into Typhlosion. Just because that, exactly. If I'd swapped in on a Lovely Kiss, that would have been very depressing. So I'm quite happy with that. Typhlosion comes in and we Flamethrower. Beautiful. And next up she's got the Houndoom. So I reckon we could actually take this thing out with... Wow, Crunch does nothing to me. I'm just going to Endure. Hopefully it doesn't do quite enough. But Reversal should take out the Houndoom. There we go, sweet. Beautiful. So we take out Karen with... That wasn't that bad at all, really. We actually thought that through really nicely. Made sure that we sacked off the right Pokemon when we needed to. Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, cool. So, Donphan. Togetic, Typhlosion, and Arios. I didn't even have an item on my Vaporeon. Well, Vaporeon's going to get another Mint Berry. The Never Melt Ice is going on Ursaring for that for Ice Punch, because I reckon Ice Punch could be incredibly important in this battle. And black... I didn't even have the black belt on. Wow, that was a mistake. Do I put the black belt on Typhlosion, or do I put Scope Lens? Do I hope for crits, or do I... hope for slightly more powerful reversal. I think we have to go for crits just because most of Lance's Pokemon, obviously, you know, he's a Dragon type trainer, so you expect dragons. So I expect him to see a Dragonite and a Kingdra. But he's also going to have, like, he won't just have Dragonite and Kingdra, according, you know, from what we've seen of this hack. So therefore he's going to have the other Pokemon that usually is associated with, like, he's had a Charizard, he's had Gyarados, he's had Aerodactyl even. So all of these Pokemon sort of, you know, that are typically, you know, that are obviously flying type. So therefore I don't think fighting is actually going to be particularly useful for us. On that same note, I might want to swap in. I'm going to give Donphan the Hard Stone, because obviously Rock type moves. And I'm going to put Donphan at the front. I'm going to lead Donphan. The reason here is just because, again, flying types. If I can set up a rollout and just take out a couple of his Pokemon, that would be amazing. If we could do that. If we could do that. So, let's have a look. Okie dokie. So, Lance. Okay, so let's, yeah, I'm pretty sure I am ready for this. Here we go, Lance. So, final battle of our playthrough. Well, I say final, it's not really, but anyway. Champion Lance is going to send out Aerodactyl first. That's actually a really nice matchup for us, with Donphan, because that means we can Defense Curl and set up a rollout really easily, and that's actually going to do a lot of work. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, Defense Curl, so Defense Curl obviously increases rollouts, doubles rollouts power, so it goes from base 30 initially to base 60. Wing Attack and Earthquake are doing nothing to us because we are so beautifully physically bulky. Rollout is definitely a 2-hit KO, that is great news. Next Pokemon he's going to send out is a Kingdra, and it's going to Hydro Pump, and it's going to miss! Yes! Oh, that's so good. That's why you don't use Hydro Pump. So, Rollout. I want to see this go all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Come on, this is base 240 now? Oh, you are kidding me. How did you live? And he lands the Hydro Pump, of course he does. But that does mean I have free reign to go into Typhlosion, really. I do have free reign to go into Typhlosion. I'm almost certain Thunder Punch will kill from here. It does kill. Good, good, good. Okay, next up, he's going to send out Charizard, which is an interesting choice. We can assume that he must have some sort of move to take me on then. Maybe... I'm pretty sure Charizard definitely gets Earthquake. I remember that from my playthrough with Charizard. I'm going to assume he's got the Earthquake. I'm going to go into Togetic. He does have the Earthquake. That's amazing. Okay, so now I Charm, because that will reduce the power of Earthquake. And there we go. So now Earthquake shouldn't do nearly as much to me, which is good news. And we can go back into Typhlosion, and we can start Thunder Punching. Thunder Punching is going to be really good for us. And there we go. He even landed a Fire Blast there. Obviously, he decided Fire Blast was going to be more powerful than that. Ooh, do I live? I'm pretty sure I live a Hydro Pump from this range. It's only a Gyarados. Gyarados does not have great special. Hydro Pump comes through. Please don't take me out. Please don't take me out. Yes. Oh, yes. Okay, good. So, Thunder Punch. Goodbye. Goodbye, Gyarados. Okay, next Pokemon is a Lapras. Now, I definitely endure and reversal. He's going to surf me, I'm going to endure it, I now reversal, it's super effective on Lapras. I don't know how much it's going to do, it's base 200 power, but it is only a Typhlosion. That does so much. And Surf comes through and takes me out. So, one hit is pretty much going to take this thing out. Do I go into Vaporeon and Bite? Do I assume that's going to be enough? It's really low on health. Or do I go into Ariados or Ursaring and just get the guaranteed? I think I go into Ariados here. Nice, Sludge Bomb. You're going to sleep me. Okay, I need to get the fuck out of here. I need a faster Pokemon. But I think Vaporeon is just going to... I'm going to go into Ursaring. Come on, we need you to avoid... Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Okay, we avoided the frickin' sing. Oh, he didn't even sing, which is really good. Dragonite. I'm going to go into Ariados here, because if he... So Dragonite has got, what? Outrage and Hyper Beam. If I go into Ariados, and he Hyper Beams me, Ariados probably goes down, but that means that he has to recharge. Which means I can go into Ursaring, and I can Ice Punch. And we can get off that damage. He's going to Outrage, actually, so he's actually going to get a crit. That kind of sucks. We're definitely going to get outsped, so that doesn't matter. I'm going to go into Vaporeon here, because Vaporeon has better special bulk. I'm expecting Outrage to do a decent amount to us, but Ice Beam is going to do so much to him. And he's got... Oh, okay, that's quite clever. He's got the berry to cure himself of confusion. Hyper Beam does not come through. Misses Hyper Beam. And I think that is us beating Lance. Is that it? Yes! Good, we defeat Lance. That's so good. Oh, God. That was really stressful. So obviously Mary's going to come through. She's going to... Professor Oak is going to talk to us. She's going to go on about this. And the interview isn't done. We're going to reach the League Champions. And here we go. Our 6 Pokemon are entered into the decks. And we have here our level 75 Donphan. Our level 78 Typhlosion. 78. And that's our starter. Typhlosion put in so much work, it must be said. Our level 75 Togetic with that important charm in the last swing. Our level 76 Ariados, who actually put in some decent work through that through the Elite Four. Actually got some kills. Our beautiful level 76 Vaporeon, who did so much helpful once we had that water type. And Ursaring, who was a powerhouse through the start of our Let's Play and even got some kills later on. Level 75. And there we go. Wow, 235 Pokemon seen, 87 Pokemon owned. We still need to actually get a lot more Pokemon. There are loads more Pokemon for us to catch in this game, and I know we can catch them all. I don't think... We obviously won't have them all in our decks, because I don't generally do that. But we will certainly catch as the starter... Try and catch the starter of... or the starting Pokemon of each trio. We obviously have the whole of the Kanto section still to come on this amazing game. But obviously we also have the credits here, and I just wanted to say that I really am enjoying this one. This is a really, really good hack, because it gives you difficulty without feeling ridiculously unfair. And the ability to do that is really, really difficult, I think. And the fact, and it's really nice to play Pokemon in such a different way. Like, it's going to be weird going back to old Pokemon games, because I'm suddenly going to realise how easy a lot of them are. Because, obviously, there are loads of Pokemon in this which obviously just use really frustrating techniques, like they use sleep, or they use confusion, or they minimize, or, whatever they're doing. It's obviously frustrating to see, because, you ideally don't necessarily enjoy trying to, being put to sleep all the time, or whatever. But, I think the real joy is that you really get a sense of achievement when you win the matches, because there's so much, you feel like you've put in so much more and you've had to think about it more, and there's so much more sort of tactics to it. And, it's far less, oh look, he's bringing in a grass type, so I'll send out my flying type. It's, okay, so my grass type is in on his ice type. Do I think I can survive and get off something important, or do I swap out and let my next Pokemon take that hit? And, I guess that's far more like an online battle, which I obviously, having never actually had the consoles on which these games are played, I never had a Game Boy Advance or a DS or whatever, or a 3DS indeed, because I've never been able to actually do online battles, the chance to sort of almost experience similar to like a battle, obviously it's not quite, because, a lot of these guys would just have very aggressive movesets, so it would just be attack, 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 but, it's just really, really just very satisfying, and I just wanted to applaud the maker of this hack for essentially doing a brilliant job on making this hack as difficult, but also it feels fair. Like, a lot of the time it feels fair, like, it's not like... I also, just another thing, but I also appreciate the fact that, you've got high-level Pokemon in the wild in order to grind up, which is so important, You know, if you need to grind, you don't want to be grinding on Pokemon that are 12 levels below you. And this game doesn't make you do that, which is really, really good. But yeah, you never feel over-leveled. You feel like, you know, and this is the thing, like, so often you can go through a Pokemon game and you can just feel over-leveled, and you can just be zipping through things because you just demolish everything. And in this, you don't, because, I mean, obviously, I didn't even use the experience share here, but because obviously there's the limit, the level gap, the level limit, and all this, it really enforces this idea that you've got to think through your problems and you can't just over-level to the point of completion. And that's really, really useful, I think, and a very, very clever move. So I've really enjoyed this so far. Obviously, we have more of this to come when we come back for the Kanto section, which is usually obviously quite a bit shorter. But I can't remember whether this guy, the creator, said he changed Kanto up a lot. He might have, but I'll have to have a look. We'll see in the next episode when we jump on the boat and start making our way to Kanto. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of my playthrough of Pokemon Pyrite. I hope you will join me on the next.